Hi guys, welcome back to PC Guys Off-Grid Cabin, where the work is never done, but we're doing it just for fun. We're back on this bathroom thing because we got that land sale done, and so I got a little bit of money to spend now, and we're going to see just how far in this project we can get. Went out and got my plywood, and we're going to get started doing the first step of it, which is getting the floor done. What I'm doing here is I've got some galvanized bolts, and I'm going to drop about 4 of them in this end plate here just to hold the entire foundation together with the original cabin. I took my drill and drilled a pilot hole here in the wood, and we're going to get this thing in here. Can you get that okay?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get these things started in here and get them working. But I just feel like that this will take and make for a more secure foundation. Well, we got 3 of them in. I'm going to take a quick break here, finish this up, and we got to run to the store for a few minutes, and then we'll get started on the next part of it. Okay, now that we've got our lag bolts put into the 2x6 between the new and the old foundation, this is what we're working on next. This foundation's 10 foot wide, and of course plywood comes in 4x8 sheets. So out here on the edge, we've got to have something to take and put across that seam there so that you don't have that. Otherwise the floor's sitting there doing this with you. That's not a good thing. On one end we're putting joist hangers. The other end we'll just take used a couple of 3.5 inch screws to come through it, and it'll hold it in place. You can use nails for this kind of stuff, and a lot of people do. I was just kind of always taught that one screw would take, and so we don't edit out screw ups. I got me a leaf there, don't I?
Okay.
If you notice right here, this is actually at an angle. which is perfect to make these screws go in there the way that you need them to go, so that you can actually put a screw all the way through into the floor joist going across. That worked out pretty good. The board actually moved just a little bit. That happens. There's a whole lot of that goes on, having to climb in and out between those boards. You get your workout in just doing that. Alright, so I'm going to take a little break here and do the rest of this, these pieces, and then we'll get back to you for the next phase. Alright, so we got all our boards put in now, and we've laid our first 3 sheets of plywood up here. And now it probably makes a little more sense to you when you see the these pieces in here. One of the benefits of doing that was it pulled some of the bows and stuff out of the these boards. What happened was, this thing sitting for as long as it did, exposed to the weather, some of these boards tried to bow a little bit, and so these pieces that we put in here, they helped pull those boards back into alignment. Now, if you saw the first video where we were actually building this framework, and I talked about the being square, and if anything was off, that it was going to cause problems, well, it actually cropped up. What had happened is this thing got jarred around a little bit, and so when we started laying this plywood up here, nothing wanted to fit right. And we wound up having to kind of move things around a little bit to get it back into alignment. So that's something I want to caution viewers about, is check the square and then check it and then check it and then check it and then check it some more. Because if it gets off, nothing is ever going to work right. It's all going to fit, just, it's going to be a mess. So take my advice on that particular thing. Check the square and then check it some more. So what we're going to do now is, Mrs. PC Guys got the barbecue pit going. We're fixing to cook up some hamburgers. And I'm going to start putting screws in this thing and getting it all screwed down. I wanted to show you this. And I know whoops. We never edit out mistakes like that, including me tripping and stuff. I need to clean up around here. You know, a good tidy workspace is important. And we've got some boards laying on the ground in pieces, and that's a good way to cause an accident. So what I'm gonna do is I've got a countersink tool here that I'm gonna use when I put these screws in here. On the one end, it's got a countersink and a drill bit, and then the other end, a screw bit. That takes and lets your screws fit in flush so they're not sticking up above the board. It's quite handy to have. Now, dumb me turned off the generator a while ago, and I ain't got any power. I'm about to go hook up the solar. So give me just a minute and let's get this power turned on. Got my handy dandy countersink tool. Probably wondering why I'm using so many screws in all this project. I mean, you haven't seen me drive a nail yet, because I'm gonna be honest with you, one screw will hold what several nails will hold, and especially in this type of an application where you're putting down boards that people are going to be walking on all the time. One of the things that'll happen is after time that thing starts giving back and forth. Next thing you know, you got nails working their way back up. And that thing will work up just enough to where you walk across it, you'll trip on it. Or catch it with your foot or something. And that's gonna hurt. So, you put screws in here and they don't tend to back out like a nail will. So, all this plywood, we won't use a nail at all in it. Everything we're using here is also its Torx bit, T25 Torx bits. And the reason behind that is if you go with a Phillips head and they start encountering a lot of resistance, especially on your longer screws, then what'll happen is the heads will start trying to strip out on you. Whereas with these, there's almost no slippage. You also notice too that screw in there is staying in there. This thing's got a magnetic head on it, which works wonders when you're trying to put screws in here. Now, once we get all this screwed down, then I've got, the next part is going to be, I've got one more sheet of plywood that we're going to have to rip in half in order to fill in these gaps over here. So let me get the rest of these screws put in and then I'll be back with you to show you the next thing. Okay guys, we've taken now and we've screwed all our wood down with the exception of this one little section right over here. I've still got to cut a piece of wood to fit here, but I've also got to move that electric line that goes to the solar array before I could actually put another piece of plywood down to fill out this last gap. Of course, we also ran out of screws. I used every freaking screw I had that was suitable for putting this plywood down. Only thing I got left is 3.5-inch screws, which is not suitable for attaching plywood to the foundation. So next up, once we finish this up, which we'll do on the next video, we'll finish this up, move the wires for the solar, and then we'll start constructing our walls. We do plan on making a long weekend of it during the Thanksgiving holidays. I've got some extra time off coming, and we're going to get out here and get real serious about it during that long weekend there. So stay tuned, and if you have any ideas or suggestions that might make this job easier, feel free to leave a comment for us. And if you want to troll, just go somewhere else. Save the drama for your mama. We do appreciate everybody watching, and remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you'll find out what's happening next on this project. Thanks for watching. Till next time.